Dang workers. Oh, hey everyone. If you want to know what that noise is, there's a bunch of workers who are kind of trimming the trees down a bit. It's for the power line that we have. Don't want the trees to grow and interrupt with the power line. Anyway, welcome. I decided to upload this one along with Super Ego because I may not have enough time. So I may not have enough time on the next day, so I decided to upload them together. Anyway, today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to review to you the final Filipino superhero, since it's due to a close. And the superhero I'm going to review to you today, it's going to involve something that's very magical. Krystala. You know, every time I always say Krystala, it just makes me want to go all streetcar named Desire here. Krystala! 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 Anyway, I looked her up, and it was a pretty interesting premise in her story. It's very fascinating. It starts out, her real name is Faith, and her parents wanted to get away from the city because they're in trouble. And there was a group of bad guys who tracked them down. I guess there must be like mobsters or something. And surprisingly, a group of those bad guys, they found her parents and killed them. But she was left all alone. And wandering out, all of a sudden a group of villagers found her. And even though she's not related to them at all, one woman decided to raise her as her own and call her Tala. Cute name, Tala. It is a cute name. And then over the years, when she grew up, she found a cave. And as she was wandering around in that cave, she found this glowing, neat-looking crystal, this medallion crystal thing that she found. And as she touched it, boom, out comes a fairy. Yeah, you hear me. A fairy. And if you say you don't believe in fairies, there's going to be a fairy drop down dead. Okay? And if you're going to say it, I'm going to keep clapping. Because the only way to bring a fairy to life is... So don't you even say I don't believe in fairies. Unless the fairy is Suki Stackhouse, then never mind. Anyway, this fairy goes by the name of Luwalhati. Luwalhati. Some name for a fairy. Luwalhati. You know, they always say they want you to be a nice person. If you're a nice person, your fairy godmother always watches over you. I got a fairy god uncle I'm not sure of. Anyway, Luwalhati, she said that she was chosen to become the new superhero of this day. The fairy chose her because of her past and what she'd been through, in which I had to say it was pretty awful. So, what the fairy did, she decided to give Top Faith, aka Tala, a crystal. And as she grabs the crystal, she has to say these words. Now, if I butcher these words, I apologize. I'm trying to spell it out as I could. Okay, it's Sa Kapatangwan Yohan Ne Crystal Aku Angayang Suka Krystala. And then boom, she becomes a superhero. The problem I was having about Krystala is there were no full movie or TV series of Krystala on YouTube. So if some of you got the DVDs, do like I said about the other superheroes, please upload them so I can watch them and enjoy them. What are you honking about? Sheesh. Anyway, I mean, all I got was a preview of her and a theme song from her show. And I have to say, Krystala, she's pretty cool. #1 in my book. But Darna will always be the only #1 girl in my heart. And that's why I'm going to do that crossover theory with her meeting Batman. I mean, since Darna is a national hero to the Philippines, so why not? And I also heard that Batman's pretty popular in the Philippines. But I'll tell you about that on my crossover theory. And tell you why I choose Batman. Anyway, you can give Krystala a watch right here. I gotta say, very attractive. Along with Volta and Borgia. But Darna, she's always be the most attractive and prettiest one of all. But hey, it's every fan's fantasy, right? Kind of like on my top 10 list on female superheroes. I always like Wonder Woman, Catwoman, Batgirl, and all the others. You know, if some of you people may understand these language, and if I butchered these words here, see if you can make this out. Huh? And if you got it right, try to voice message me how it's pronounced. And of course, she has flying ability, super strength, and so forth. Anyway, this is exactly what I'm going to do to a close on the Filipino superhero review. And if I left any Filipino superheroes on my review, I'm sorry. I may not have enough time to review all of them. Only 10. And this is my 10th one. But I might return to do some more. Maybe. Maybe on Asian month. Because I always do Asian month on June. And the reason why I did the Filipino superheroes on December instead of June is because I got so fascinated to the whole Filipino superhero concept. And that's why. And that's why I decided to let people know about the Filipino superheroes that not many people never even heard of. Or don't even know about. And if some of you want me to review Zaza St. Turna, forget it. I'm not going to review that one. Besides, if you want to see a review of her, look up Linkara and Demanda Hagen. They did a review of her. As for me, I'm a lot happier reviewing the ones I know so far. And in case you don't know what Demanda Hagen is, it's a parody of Darna, except it's a story about a gay guy who, a gay drag queen, who all of a sudden sees a meteorite, swallows it, and says Zaza St. Turna, and boom, turns into a woman with superpowers. And that's the premise. And that's why I decided not to review it, because it's kind of awkward. I mean, a guy transforming into a woman with superpowers? I mean, talk about instant sex change. Anyway, if you like my review so far, please leave a comment down below, hit like and subscribe, and get ready for New Year's. And for New Year's, it's going to be my newest crossover theory. So, bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen, and see you soon.